Hello, good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Well, for you, probably it doesn't matter because you'll be watching at that different time. But for me, it's afternoon. So, good afternoon and welcome to my podcast. Let's talk about words. Today, we're going to talk in English, or I'm going to talk in English, you're going to listen. This is spontaneous recording, and as all my previous episodes in this podcast are spontaneous, I'm coming quite spontaneously today. I had some problems with creating something for today's meeting, but actually, finally I'm here, and I decided I would like to talk in English for you and for you to enjoy some English. So this is what's going to happen today. Just briefly about myself. My name is Barbara and I'm English teacher and trainer or personal trainer. I teach adults mainly, and I work individually, I work online, and my podcasts and things that I do on this podcast are inspired by my lessons. Many of those things I've done with my clients during my lessons. So this is a small maybe sneak peek for you to see what I'm doing on my lessons. And I'm also here to maybe give you something useful, something that can help you with your learning English. My idea is to help with English to people who want to learn by themselves, yes, so that you can have some material here to get inspired or maybe get some help with learning English, okay? Maybe I'll just change to a different view. Today I prepared something that maybe is not so much about vocabulary. Partly maybe it is, but it is also a little grammar point, I would say. Yes, which are modal verbs. And what kind of modal verbs I mean, you'll see in a moment. I wanted to say also something more. I'm just looking at my slides. My idea was to make this podcast weekly podcast so that I give you something every week. But I have also many other ideas of things that I would like to record on this channel and other playlists that are here. So this podcast will become maybe less regular, and I'm planning to make it maybe bi-weekly, maybe, I don't know, every 2 or 3 weeks I'll be giving you something. But I will be also putting some other videos on this channel connected with grammar, connected with, as I said, some help for the people that want to learn English themselves. For example, what books do they need to use? I don't know, or some kind of other advice that I can give to you, how you can help yourself when you learn English by yourself, and you're trying to do that without any teacher or without anyone, which I think is quite hard because, you have to have a lot of strong will and to be very organized. But, that's a topic for a separate recording. Which I also want to include on my channel. So that's why, as I'm saying, this podcast will become less regular, and I will be putting other important, other valuable things on this channel as well. I'll be trying to do that every week, but we'll see, because I'm now busy with my own work. Then, we'll see how much time I have to do that. Okay, but moving on to the topic that I have for today. These are modal verbs. Okay, the topic is in Polish, but I'll be explaining that in English. I think the topic is very easy. Maybe for some people it's not easy. I have one video on my channel which is on modal verbs, and mainly the difference between have to and must. Okay, because I think that's the most problematic difference that my students have, to differentiate have to and must. When do we use have to? When do we use must? And is it so important to see the difference? Do you need to see the difference, or can you just use have to, must interchangeably? It really depends. I recommend to look at my video that is on my channel. I will put it in the description or in the so that it pops up here, and you can just refer to it if you're interested in the topic. Yes, so the topic is more grammar, but I have an activity that I think you'll enjoy, and hopefully you'll benefit from this video and from this presentation. I'm not planning to make it long, by the way. Okay, so the modal verbs I want to talk about today are have to, must, don't have to, mustn't, should, shouldn't. And maybe just changing to the next slide. I'll try to explain first when do we use each of those modal verbs. Yes. So first of all, have to, and here you can see example. I have to get up early. I have to do some shopping. Basically, have to refers to some kind of obligation. Yes, that something is necessary to do. And yeah, so it's, yeah, here comes the difference between have to and must, okay? Because have to means that somebody told us to do that. It's some kind of obligation. Yes, I have to get up early because I work. Yeah, it's not something that I would really like to do, but I have to do that. Yes, it's my duty. It's part of my, okay, maybe life. If you have to work, we all have to work. But do we really want to work? That's a question. Yeah, it's a good question. So if you say I have to, it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to do that. Yes, mainly it's an obligation that is coming from outside. Somebody told you to do that. The second sentence, I have to do some shopping. Okay, maybe you would like to eat something. Yeah, so this is something that you want to do. But shopping is your duty or your obligation. Yeah, one of your chores that you have to do during the day. You have to go to the shop, and it's not really a pleasant thing. Well, maybe, okay, some people like shopping, but usually if you go, okay, you know, in your normal day, you would like to do probably something else than doing shopping. And doing shopping is something you have to do, not that something that you would like to do. If you go shopping for clothes because you love it, then maybe you would use a different word here. Yes, I want to go shopping because I like it. Okay, but here we talk about your duty or obligation. So this is what have to describes. Yes, that's when we use have to. Must, okay, it also describes obligation, but it's different kind of obligation. I always explain it to my students that instead of must, try to replace it with wish. Maybe grammatically it will not it will not work well here, but must expresses some internal wish of someone who says the sentence, okay? So the first example, you must exercise more, means that, okay, usually you would hear that from the doctor. This is really an example from, is the same example that I gave it in this video that I was telling you about, yeah? I think it was quite a good example. You must exercise more. This is what the doctor thinks is good for you, yes? And it is his, let's say, we believe that it's his sincere wish. He really would like you to exercise more, because otherwise your health will be much worse, in much worse conditions. So you must exercise more. Also here, must means, okay, strong wish, but something that is very, very important. You must do it. Yes, so kind of obligation. Okay, then it will be in contrast with mustn't, yes, but must, it means that if you don't do it, you'll have a problem. Yeah, you must exercise more. So then it's some kind of strong recommendation of doing something. It's not even as should, because we will talk about should in a moment. Should is something that is just good idea. And here, it's strong recommendation because otherwise you will have problems. I must see that film is closer to the meaning I was talking about, which is wish. Yes, I wish to see that film. It's coming from here. I know, I want to do that. It's here you can see the difference between have to. Yes, I have to see, you have to see that film. You must see that film. You must visit us tomorrow is another example. But if you say must, it's wish. It's my wish. I want to see that. Yes. Nobody told me. It's not obligation. Although, okay, we call it that it's obligation, but here it's something that I imposed on myself. Yes. It's my decision. I know I want to do it. And it's something I'm telling myself to do, yes? If you say you must visit us tomorrow, let's say you say that to your friend, it means that you would really, really like him or her to visit you. And you'll be happy to see them, yes? So it's wish again, yes? I want you. Why don't you visit us tomorrow? You must visit us tomorrow, yes? And I really want it. And it's not that you have to do that. Okay, probably you will do it, yes, because maybe you're in good relationship, but I hope you see the difference between have to and must, yeah? So must comes from the heart of whoever says the sentence, right? He is the giver of this wish or yes, of the rule. Sometimes it's also applied about the rules, applied to the rules, as we can, okay, we will see that in mustn't. So must will be then very strong obligation that you must do it because I say so, yeah? As with the doctor, actually. Okay. I don't have to take that medicine. Okay, so now don't have to and mustn't. Okay, this is what I want to show in the next slides. I don't have to take that medicine. I can if I want, but it's not necessary. So I don't have to, you don't have to. It's not necessary to do that, but you can do it, yes? So there is, it means means lack of obligation. Yes, I don't have to take that medicine. It's not necessary, and nothing bad will happen if you don't take it. But if we say you mustn't take that medicine, it means it's forbidden. It's not allowed, or yeah, there will be very serious consequences in terms of medicine, right? If somebody tells you you mustn't take that medicine, it means that maybe it's poisonous. Maybe, you know, you will have serious problems with your health if you take it. Yes, don't do it. Right? So it's very strong prohibition. You can't do that. Right? Mustn't is applied to rules, as I just said. And usually, you know, very strong rules. Like the second example, you mustn't drink and drive, yes? Because it's dangerous, yeah? So very strong prohibition is expressed with mustn't. And don't have to has completely opposite meaning, yeah? Because it's lack of obligation. If you want, you can do it, but you don't have to, right? So you can feel this lightness in this. Okay, and then should and shouldn't. I think it's easy, and you know, if you've done modal verbs and should and shouldn't, I think is easiest out of those all that I show you here. You don't look well, you should see a doctor. It's a good idea if you saw a doctor, but you know, what that person will do is just his or her decision. They will see maybe the doctor, maybe not, right? They don't have to do that. Okay, so there is no obligation here, it's just some advice. Yeah, it might be a good idea. I'm expressing my opinion, but you will do what you want, right? You should see a doctor. You shouldn't smoke, it's not good for your health. It means that, again, I express my opinion, and from what I heard and read, I know smoking is not healthy, so you shouldn't do that because it's not good for your health. But, you know, it's not obligation. I'm not saying you mustn't smoke, or, yeah, it's just my advice. Yeah, I think it's not a good idea to smoke because it's not good for your health. Okay, that's all the slides that I have here. And now I want to change just to show you some activity and maybe show you how to use those modal verbs. In here, we have, okay, I can see I don't have my own. Yes, you will not see me now, but what I want to show you is this activity. It's actually connected with, yeah, it's part of one of the, yeah, it comes from materials to one of the books that I'm doing. And you can see the title of the book. Yeah, that's English file. That's the book I'm working on, and I really like it because it provides a lot of topics to conversations with my clients. So this is one of the examples, yeah, what you can do to talk about different topics using modal verbs, okay? So maybe I'll just choose some of them to show you what I mean. For example, first one, 2 things you shouldn't do before you go to bed. Maybe I can just zoom it a little bit. Yeah, 2 things you shouldn't do before you go to bed. So here now, try to, I don't know, use your imagination. I think it's great for work group that you can then brainstorm some ideas about those, yeah, whatever ideas all the people have. So I don't know, my ideas are that before you go to bed, you shouldn't work on computer and sit in front of screen, for example, and you shouldn't eat, let's say, yes, before you go to bed, because again, it's not healthy. It's good to eat a few hours before you go to sleep. And I guess you could have much more ideas about that, but nothing comes to my mind at the moment, unfortunately, what you shouldn't do before you go to bed. But I mentioned 2, yes? Oh, yeah, for example, you shouldn't watch horrors. I think for me that wouldn't be good to watch horrors, because then I would have nightmares. Okay, we can jump to number 2. 2 things you have to do after class today. Okay, let's say after this recording that I'm making now. Okay, let's say it's my class now, and after the class I have to prepare something for lunch, and I have to pick up my kids from school. So these are 2 things that I have to do. And these are my duties, yeah? So these are things that maybe it's not necessarily something that I really, really wish to do, but I have to do it because, okay, that's the life. These are our duties that we have to do. Okay, must, I think we can look at number 3. 2 things you must do before you catch a plane. Yeah, so here you can now try to refer, when do we use must? You must do, so it's absolutely necessary. It's very important that you have to. Okay, you must do, yeah? So if you don't do them, you'll be in trouble, okay? You will have problems. 2 things you must do before you catch a plane. Okay, you must check in your luggage, for example, and you must go through security check or at the airport. I think there could be more ideas. Yeah, you must, I don't know, buy a ticket. Yeah, so now think of some options which, without, you cannot go on the plane without them. Yes. So if you don't do them, you will not catch the plane. You must do them. Yeah. you must have your ID. You must have your passport, for example. Yes? If you don't have it at the airport, then you're in trouble. Okay, you don't have to. Actually, you can look at. Yeah, so then you'll see how we use don't have to. 3 things you don't have to do when you're on holiday. Okay, when I'm on holiday, I don't have to work. Okay, that's simple, maybe. I don't have to work. I don't have to. Okay, thinking just about myself, I don't have to sit in front of computer because that's my work. I work online, so it's really a big change when I'm on holiday because I don't have to use my computer. And I don't have to get up early. Okay, these are 3 things then, yes? Of course, I can get up early if I want, or if there is such a need because, I don't know, we need to catch early plane, but I don't have to do that. It's not necessary for the work because I don't work there, yes? And again, you could think of much more ideas, like you don't have to eat regularly or you don't have to, okay, I don't know, just use your ideas if you have any. Write them in the comments, right? Let's make some brainstorming. Shouldn't we had, don't have to. Maybe about driving. One thing you must do and one thing you mustn't do when you're driving, yes? So when you're driving, you must have a driving license. So that's something, without which it's not possible to drive. I mean, you can drive, but you're breaking the law, right? If you drive without driving license, yeah? Or you must focus on the road, yeah? And one thing you mustn't do, you mustn't talk on the phone when you're driving, yeah? Or you mustn't drink and drive. That was also one of the examples I had on my slides. And okay, I think that was, yeah, I also want to look at maybe should. Should, maybe 14. 2 things you should do if you're invited, if you have been invited for dinner. Yes, I'm looking at 14, number 14. 2 things you should do if you've been invited for dinner. You should wear nice clothes, okay, or wear some elegant clothes because most probably it's some official, yeah, well, definitely something elegant, something that is appropriate in this situation, depending on what dinner it is. And you should, if you're in, well, if it's at home, then maybe you should bring a present, right? If it's for the restaurant, maybe not necessarily present, but I don't know, you shouldn't be late. Okay, you should be on time, yeah, because we have should. So you should be on time, you should, I don't know, well, what else? I don't have any more ideas with this one. So again, bring your ideas if you have anything. What things should you do if you have been invited for dinner in this situation? Okay, I think that's enough here. I just wanted to show you how to use that in what situations you can use those modal verbs, must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, and should, shouldn't. Okay. So maybe it wasn't so much about the words, or maybe it was about the words and a little bit about grammar. I have a lot of other ideas about grammar that I want to share here with you, and I'm not sure if I can put it in podcast about words, not really. But as I said, I want to show different things on this channel, not only words. So you will see me regularly, but not only in this podcast, but also other different topics that I have in my mind to share with you. Of course, as always, I am really happy to read your comments. So, share your comments below. If you want to learn more about me, also look at the description below and you'll find me there and my social media and my website. So you'll know more about me and what I do. If you want to work with me, the information is below too. For now, that's all for today. I hope you're having a great day and a great week, despite the rain that is coming this week. We've got already autumn, so, just keep yourself well and don't get discouraged by not so much sun. I think we had a lot of sun this summer and it was really hot. So now it's time to get some rain and just to tune in the autumn that is coming. Yes. So thanks for today. Thanks for watching. And I appreciate your likes and your subscribing because that means something to me. And I hope to see you next week. Yes, next week. With something completely different, hopefully, and something useful for you. So have a nice day. Enjoy the film and enjoy the rest of the week. Take care. Bye.